What is going on, everybody? It's the Franz, and we're back again for a Super Showdown review. The Super Showdown just wrapped up. It was not a 5-hour event, it was a 4-hour event. 10 matches, only 2 really relatively going more than 20 minutes, 3 going 15, everything else went 10 or under. So WWE just pretty much gave us another rendition of Glorified House Show, setting up 2 matches for the Glorified House Show that'll be coming at the beginning of November, 5 days after, I think it's 5 or 6 days after Evolution, in which we will have Crown Jewel. That is the WWE Championship match with the number 1 contenders match, which I believe everyone will agree was a bit of a disappointment with how short that match went. And we do have ourselves a new Cruiserweight champion in one Buddy Murphy. And the only title change to happen on this show was Buddy Murphy winning the Cruiserweight Championship. So anybody who was set to say Samoa Joe was winning the WWE Championship, they were sure Samoa Joe was winning the WWE Championship. I have bad news for you. Samoa Joe did not win the WWE Championship. It was the longest match of the night until most likely the main event. But definitely was a pay-per-view quality show. They tried to... This... Compared to Shinsuke Nakamura versus AJ Styles at the Greatest Royal Rumble, which was not really that good of a match, this was a much better match overall. The opening match of the show was the New Day versus the Cesaro versus the Bar, and this match actually I woke up towards the end, so I didn't actually get to see the entirety of this match. They went 9 minutes and 38 seconds. This match ended in a very interesting way with a backstabber to Cesaro, followed by a double foot stomp by Kofi Kingston. The Bar do not win the tag team titles. I didn't expect them to in this show. The Bar fall to the New Day as we move on. Then we had Charlotte Flair versus Becky Lynch in another attempt by WWE to get people to boo Becky Lynch, and again they failed. Everybody was for Becky Lynch in this match. This match went about 10 minutes, and these two, it was about a typical match you would see, but the end of the match happened with Becky tried to pull the heel, I'm going to run away because I'm getting my butt kicked maneuver, in which she goes out, she grabs the title and starts walking away. Charlotte stops that, throws Becky back in the ring, and I could just tell as soon as she threw Becky back in the ring and Becky did not drop the title from her hands until she rolled back into the ring, I knew that title was coming into play, and I knew where they were going with this. Sure enough, Charlotte goes to put on the figure 8, she puts her in the figure 4, goes to bridge in the figure 8. Becky's nowhere near the ropes. She grabs the women's title and slaps Charlotte a couple times. And again, WWE again tries to get Becky Lynch booed, Becky Lynch hated, and again, it fails. People were chanting Becky the entire time. She goes to walk away. Charlotte beats her down a little bit more, and the whole crowd is booing Charlotte Flair and are still continuously cheering Becky Lynch. I think they need to stop. I don't know who's writing this story. I don't know if it's Vince McMahon in charge of the Becky Lynch Charlotte Flair story. He has dementia or something, because this dude and he's so stubborn, he will not let it go. Charlotte's gonna be a babyface. We gotta make people hate Becky Lynch. Have her here with the title. And again, what happens? The fans cheer Becky. There is nothing you can do at this point to get the fans to boo Becky Lynch. So just do this right. Have Charlotte turn heel on this Tuesday SmackDown. Have her go out there, whine and complain like a whiny little bitch that she would be, and just have her turn heel. Enough of this trying to get Becky Lynch to be the heel of this thing, because it's not going to work. Then we had the iconic, Bobby Lashley and John Cena versus Elias and Kevin Owens. This was a 10-minute and 5-second match. This is basically how this went. 9 minutes and 5 seconds of Bobby Lashley getting his ass kicked by Kevin Owens and Elias. He tags John Cena in, hits all 6 moves of doom, and wins. And yes, he did bring out the whatever that Taiwan name is, where he crosses his arms and then slaps Elias in the face, 1, 2, 3, and that's how that match went. That's all you needed to say about that match. There was nothing special about Bobby Lashley and John Cena versus Elias and Kevin Owens. It was a 9-minute beatdown of Bobby Lashley. No Leo Rush, unfortunately. He did not make the trip to Super Showdown. So the best part of Bobby Lashley's act was not there. John Cena does grab the microphone after the match and thanks the fans, thanks the entire WWE Universe for letting him be a part of Super Showdown, making it sound like this was one of his last few matches in WWE as a active superstar. So it would not surprise me if it was, but it's not going to be his final match. He just made it sound like this was one of his last few matches. He doesn't know what the future holds for him, so he's taking this a day at a time. Definitely sounded like somebody who is not going to be wrestling very much longer, which he doesn't wrestle much as it is, but definitely one that didn't seem like he was going to be here much longer. What I thought was going to be the shortest match of the night, the Iconics versus Asuka and Naomi, and the Iconics actually pick up the victory here by hitting Naomi with a knee to the face by Peyton Royce as Billie Kay holds her in she just has her wrapped up, pulls her down to where her head's exposed, knee to the head. 1, 2, 3, the Iconics win. So the Iconics and Buddy Murphy, all from Australia, win on this night. We will talk about that match here in a minute. But yes, Naomi took the pinfall. They did get rid of Asuka earlier in the match. Asuka is before the match even started, when they had Naomi and Asuka making their way to the ring, Asuka dancing to Naomi's theme music was honestly so hard to watch. I'm sorry, Asuka, the killing machine, the woman who went out there and would just wrap a woman up in the Asuka lock and make her tap, would beat her down, kick to the head, you would knock a woman out, is dancing to Naomi's theme music. Are you kidding me? Man, how far Asuka has fallen since WrestleMania. It's just not even funny. From being embarrassed by Carmella and James Ellsworth, to disappearing for a while, to coming back to help Naomi take on the Iconics, only to utterly be in a losing effort to the Iconics in Australia. Asuka is coming up to the fact that she will probably not be savable by the time this is all said and done. I'm just going to say that. We had the WWE Championship match, 23 minutes, 45 seconds of this match. This match was excellent. AJ Styles ends up winning this one with the calf crusher after working over Samoa Joe's leg for a good portion of this match. AJ Styles, one of the more crazy parts was Samoa Joe's laying in the ring, his head's out under the ropes, and AJ looks like he's going to go for a 450. I'm like, why are you going for the 450? He actually went in for the 450 and landed on the injured leg of Samoa Joe. He eventually does put in the calf crusher after Samoa Joe multiple times tries to use the Kikina clutch to end this. He actually one time took the Kikina clutch and I thought AJ was flipping out of it, but no. He actually flipped and threw AJ behind him. AJ, of course, does hit does put on the calf crusher and wins the match. So anybody who was thinking Samoa Joe was going to win today, you were dead wrong. I just didn't think Samoa Joe was winning this match today. And I'm just going to put this out there. I don't get what anyone's thinking this, but there has not been a WWE Championship match announced for SmackDown 1000 between Samoa Joe and AJ Styles. This feud is over. This feud is done. This was beaten clean. There had to be a winner. There's nothing left. Samoa Joe is done with the WWE Championship for the time being. I'm still pitching that AJ Styles is going to lose it to The Miz at the Royal Rumble, probably. And then Miz is going to lose the title at WrestleMania to Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan's going to hold the title till SummerSlam, and he's going to actually lose the title to Samoa Joe at SummerSlam. So Samoa Joe is not going to hold the WWE Championship until SummerSlam next year, if he stays with the company, which he should. And I see people like, oh, well, this is the best time Samoa Joe won it. This was a glorified house show. Most titles don't change hands on house shows anyway. Yes, Buddy Murphy won the Cruiserweight Championship, which was actually 2 matches later, by the way. But you don't usually see a title change at a house show, so to see the WWE Championship change in Australia, I didn't see it happening. Then we had the Bella Twins and Ronda Rousey versus the Riot Squad. This one was a 10-minute match. Who really cared about this match? I didn't. The finish, there was no, and we all saw it, and I thought too that we were going to see the Bella Twins turn on Ronda Rousey with Nikki and them setting up for a match at Evolution for her and Ronda Rousey. That did not happen. We did not get a single heel turn or anything. The only thing that looked like we might see dissension between Ronda Rousey and Nikki Bella was the beginning of the match, where Ronda and Nikki were arguing who's going to start the match. Nikki wanted to start the match. Ronda wanted to start the match. Eventually, Ronda got talked into stepping out of the ring, and for the good portion of this match, Nikki and Brie would not tag in Ronda Rousey. They would just tag each other in. Eventually, Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan pulled down both Ronda Rousey and Brie Bella, and Ronda gets back up and is like, tag me in, Nikki, tag me in. Nikki does eventually tag her in, and she just goes ham on the entire Riot Squad. The match came to an end when she was going to go and put the armbar on Sarah Logan. Liv Morgan came in, and they both go to double team them, and they did stupid babyface syndrome, or stupid heel syndrome, where they start talking or mocking the crowd and saying, this is your girl, this is your girl. And Ronda grabs both of them, double flips both of them, pulls them together, and does a double armbar, her double armbar to both Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan at the same time with their arms crossed, tapping them both out, and the Bellas and Ronda Rousey win the match. Nothing happened after that. They just celebrated in the ring. No heel turn, no nothing. The heel turn was saved for the double cross was saved for later in the night, and we'll get to that as we get to the main event. Buddy Murphy versus Cedric Alexander. This match was 2 minutes and 35 seconds. This match was definitely great. You had a running Spanish fly from Cedric Alexander that looked like they didn't get the elevation they needed because Buddy Murphy's size, but they did end up hitting it for a 2 count. We had some, this match started on hot. They did slow it down a little bit, and the match picked up at the end. This match, I honestly think they could have got, if they could have got another 5 minutes. If you would have took the Daniel Bryan and the Miz match, which we'll get to later, out, they could have got another 2-3 minutes into this match. But Buddy Murphy wins with the Murphy's Law, winning the Cruiserweight Championship, kicking out of the lumbar check earlier in the match. I think that is the first time that someone has kicked out of the lumbar check since Cedric Alexander has become Cruiserweight Champion. That is his first defeat in over a year, if I'm correct. Cedric Alexander has not lost a match in over a year. We had the Shield versus the Dogs of War, the Pack, or whatever, Braun Strowman, Dolph Ziggler, and Drew McIntyre. Shield got if anybody remembers the Shield before the breakup, for a good 2-3 month span, they were wearing these masks with a skull and etched on them with something like a white skull, white bones on the face of it. So they didn't have those ones, but they did have some kind of Bane mask on as they entered the Melbourne Cricket Grounds. I don't think these guys should have entered in this crowd through the crowd in this one, simply because Melbourne, they were just mobbed the entire time. Usually when you see the crowd, you see them coming down through the crowd, you can see them from a mile away as they come down, because the crowd doesn't, in the United States, don't just sit there and mob them. But here in Australia, they were in a sea of crowd the entire time. They had to sit there and swipe people away just to get through. The Shield actually pick up the win here. They did try to put Braun Strowman through the announce table earlier on in the match. That announce table would not break till the final action of the night. But the Shield do win this match because they could. I think that was a mistake. I think they should have had the Dogs of War win this one with Braun Strowman hitting Roman Reigns in the middle of the ring. But no, there was an attempt at the triple powerbomb twice. Once to Braun Strowman and on the outside, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler broke that up, and then once to Drew McIntyre, but Braun Strowman broke that one up. And the way if Drew McIntyre would have landed just a certain way, it probably would have ended worse for him than it actually did. So thankfully, nothing bad happened there. It ended up with a Dirty Deeds to Dolph Ziggler, and after, basically what happened was the Shield of Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were both ran over by Braun Strowman. Zigzag by Dolph Ziggler. Dean Ambrose kicked out. Braun Strowman says, throw his ass outside or run his ass over. He goes to run him over, and out of nowhere, Strowman gets speared through the barricade before that, a little bit before that in the match, an inadvertent Superman punch ended up hitting Dean Ambrose in the face. The Dogs of War were up on three parts of the apron with Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns in the middle of the match. Dean Ambrose comes up the fourth side, and Braun Strowman has his arms out and like, come on, let's go, thinking that Dean Ambrose is going to turn on the Shield. That, of course, does not happen. Fast forward to when the spear happens, that's Roman Reigns making up for the Superman punch. Then we get a Dirty Deeds to end the match, and 1, 2, 3, the Shield beat the Dogs of War, Pack, whatever you want to call them. What the hell was that number one contenders match? They hyped up for like a week the number one contenders of The Miz and Daniel Bryan. The winner goes on to face AJ Styles or Samoa Joe at a later date. We know what that later date is now. But what the hell? Daniel Bryan gets hit with a running knee, kicks out, gets up, rolls up the Miz in a small package, and in 2 minutes and 25 seconds, the shortest match of the fucking night, Daniel Bryan moves on to face AJ Styles. Why was this match cut so short? Did the Shield and the Dogs of War go on too long or something? It went about 19 minutes and 40 seconds. Why did this match go so short? It made no sense to me. Like, I blinked and like I closed my eyes for a second and I wake up and all I see is Renee Young talking about Evolution and I'm like, what the hell did I miss? A match that could have stole the show. Could have been the match of the night. 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Why? This one I'm going to have to hopefully have something on Unscripted why this was this short. But this was the biggest disappointment of the night. And then we had the main event, which was Triple H versus The Undertaker on the quote-unquote last time ever. With the end of the way this show went, definitely is not going to be the last time ever that these two will face off. Maybe one-on-one, but they definitely did sign up for Crown Jewel at the end of the show. JoJo, she introduced HBK and Kane as they came to the ring, but Triple H and Undertaker were in the ring as if they were fighting for a championship, and she decided to announce that this is now a no disqualification match. Did you not see that coming? This is an Undertaker match post WrestleMania 26, where every time after that it seems like everything is a no disqualification match for him. This match was decent. This match was good. They did brawl to the outside. They did set a table up. Kane went through that table. Shawn Michaels did introduce the sledgehammer. The match pretty much came to an end where Triple H hit a sledgehammer. Well, Undertaker hit a tombstone and got a 2 count. Gets up, knocks out Mike Chioda. Mike Chioda was the guy who started this match, and he ends up getting knocked out. So we're down one referee. We bring in another referee. Triple H hits a sledgehammer with the chair Undertaker had a chair, Triple H had a sledgehammer. Boom to Undertaker. Match gets Triple H pins him 1-2, ref gets pulled out, he is out. Match comes to an end. Shawn Michaels gets in the ring, hits a super kick, sledgehammer, another super kick, pedigree, 1, 2, 3. The match was over. Triple H beat The Undertaker because of 2 super kicks and a sledgehammer / pedigree for the win. After the match is over, all 4 men are hugging, embracing, raising their hands to Melbourne. When all of a sudden you see Undertaker and Kane, over because they're both taller than Triple H and Shawn Michaels, look at each other. Shawn Michaels gets knocked out or taken down by Kane. Undertaker hits a tombstone on Triple H. Then Kane and The Undertaker just go and beat the hell out of Shawn Michaels, and they put him through the announce table, leaving both members of the Generation X down and out as they walk away to The Undertaker's music, and this sets up Crown Jewel. So, was it a great show? Hell no. Was it a terrible show? It was a boring show most of the time. I swear, if anybody who wants to see this, you're not missing much. The Buddy Murphy Cedric Alexander match was pretty good. Disappointed in Daniel Bryan versus The Miz. Why the hell they went 2 minutes and 25 seconds? This show was supposedly supposed to be 5 hours. It went 4 hours and 5 minutes. So that was your Crown Jewel. Your Super Showdown review show. We do have Crown Jewel to look forward to, as well as WWE Evolution, and then of course SmackDown 1000 before all of that. We do know that Daniel Bryan will take on AJ Styles at Crown Jewel, so that means both main titles at Crown Jewel have been set, with Brock Lesnar and Braun Strowman challenging Roman Reigns in a triple threat match. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles was going to happen because that's how they wanted this to go. But that is going to be all for your Super Showdown review. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, comment down below, find me on Twitter at TheFrance, find me at twitch.tv/TheFrance08. I'll be back tomorrow morning for one, of course, Unscripted, and for Unscripted at 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Until then, I'm getting out of here, and I will see you guys tomorrow for a Sunday edition of Unscripted.